Chamber of Commerce weather in Knoxville, Tennessee. A midweek game in the second half of conference play for the Tennessee Volunteers as they host Morehead State here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Along with Charlie Puleo, I am Vince Ferrara. We are excited about our midweek game tonight. Offensive stars, Charlie, for both teams, really getting it done for these two squads.
You look at Reed Leonard, the record-setting shortstop for Morehead State.
And a second opportunity to start this year. Camden Sewell was impressive this past weekend against Georgia. Tennessee really pitched well. Sewell getting an opportunity here today.
Really impressive young freshman.
Hard to find a pitcher that works as fast as Sewell. We'll talk about that as the night goes on. Here's a lineup for the Eagles to start this ball game here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Hammond, Fain, Pauly do up here in the top of the first to get things started. Morehead State and Tennessee midweek action. Morehead State at 24-13, Tennessee at 26-11. RPI of 9 for the Volunteers in year 2 under Tony Vitello as Camden Sewell gets us started out. Tony Vitello really has energized this program, and for them to be 9th in the RPI right now, so impressive, Charlie.
Well, I think you look at the wins against Georgia and Vanderbilt, and Mississippi State.
4-3. And there's the first pitch to Fain, skied into left field, and the ballpark is not going to hold that first offer from Camden Sewell. Hunter Fain, a solo home run to left, his 8th of the season, 28th run driven in, and Morehead State takes the lead early on Tennessee, 1-0, 2 batters in.
You got the senior catcher, Fain, got a high slider right here, just hung over the plate. And here's a veteran player. He did not miss it, got it up in that wind, hit it really good. I mean, why not? He's hitting .398.
Leaves the yard for the 8th time. That is tops on the club. Ground ball to third. Andre Lipsius not able to complete the play and get the out as Pauly beats the throw to first. And Morehead State now with back-to-back hits, the solo home run by Payne, and now that chopper to third with a runner at first with just one out.
You can see why Pauly has got 58 hits on the year.
Morehead State gets a run in the top of the first against Camden Sewell, the starter for the Volunteers. Vols coming up to bat. Let's take a look at that play at second base. It was a 0-2 pitch from Sewell, so you got a swing and a miss there, and then the throw by Pavoloni down to first. You see the safe call, but it certainly appears, Charlie, that it's interference.
Yeah, you didn't even have to make contact. He crossed the plate. He's in the left-handed hitter's batter's box right there.
This Tennessee team has really cut back on its strikeouts overall. They do have one with Jay Charleston in the game, but they're down as a club. Ammon's second highest, though, among the regulars in strikeouts, but he walks a lot as well. Garbrick, Wills, and checks Ferguson at second.
I think that's another big improvement from the last few years.
Yeah.
They're really putting the ball in play a lot more.
Well, they've drawn 2 walks that have accounted for the 2 base runners right now. Ferguson at second, Solari at first. See if Justin Ammons can make Garbrick pay for the free bases. Runners go. Pitch a called strike 3 on the inside corner. Garbrick with the K looking to close out the threat. Morehead State leading Tennessee. We head to the second. Eagles of Morehead State leading number 22 Tennessee 1-0 as we start the second here in Knoxville. Mike McGuire has this Morehead State team very competitive in the OVC. His 7th season, 212 and 179. They can really swing it. Tops in the OVC in offense and batting average. Also lead the OVC in ERA and in WHIP. Hits offensively, so just a really good program run that Mike McGuire is on here at Morehead State.
And how about what they did last year, Vince?
Yeah.
They knocked off that record-setting Tennessee Tech team.
And now 2 on with nobody out for Trevor Snyder, the DH. Snyder, 317, lays down a bunt, a good one. Lipsius fields at third, and get the runner out at first, but that sacrifice successful for the Eagles, moving 2 in the scoring position with just 1 out.
How about that? Your 7th hole hitter hitting .317. They make him sacrifice, and he puts down a perfect bunt down the third base line and gets 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out.
He executed that perfectly, just caught the baseball with his bat, right?
That's the key to bunting. You know, you don't jab at it.
Morehead State leading the 22nd ranked Tennessee Volunteers here in sunny Knoxville 1-0 with Charlie Puleo. I am Vince Ferrara here on the SEC Network. What a year for Tennessee so far. In Tony Vitello's second season here on Rocky Top, 55-38. And boy, a great start to pre-conference for Tennessee, and they have been so competitive in SEC play as well.
When you think they were 29-27 last year?
You could argue that Tennessee is better at every defensive position, and then a push with Ammons, who was a starting right fielder last year as well.
Absolutely.
When they're going to come out, they're going to say one way or the other, and if they say the runner is out, we're not going to know whether it's confirmed or whether they didn't have enough video evidence. I wish there was a way to let everyone know in baseball replay and college baseball replay what the call is.
Sure, yeah, I understand.
Just communicate that in some way like they do in football. Ground ball right side, that's going to get through. Base hit for Rucker. Rounding third is Martinez. Here comes the throw home, not in time, sliding in safe. Runner from first advances to second, and there's Jake Rucker coming through with a clutch hit. Rucker's 14th RBI of the year, and Tennessee has tied this ball game at 1.
And his quality of his pitches.
Sharply hit to third. Great snag by Peroni, and he's going to get Alaric Solari. Ooh, the hot corner there. And Peroni able to deal with that shot off of Alaric Solari's bat. Mentioned Garrett Stallings. Unbelievable ball game. The numbers there that you see probably don't tell the story. A complete game shutout. Charlie, he went to a 3-ball count 4 times in the game, the last time being in the 4th inning. 10 one-pitch outs in the game as well for Stallings.
I think the thing for me that's most impressive is he's got 4 quality pitches that he can throw for strikes at any time. And there's not a pitcher in this league, I don't think, that can do that.
Gets another swing and a miss.
He's got a good sinker.
Yep. So you get a swing and a miss like that with the same pitch. Do you come back a third time, or do you go somewhere else?
That's the old 12-second rule. You know, that if you can deliver a pitch within 12 seconds, the same one, you should get the same result.
Here's the 0-2.
Came back with a slider.
Yep, lifted right side, foul territory, and will be reeled in by Hill. Tennessee takes the lead, but leaves the bases loaded. Move to the 4th here in Knoxville. Reed Leonard reached on an error here in the 4th. And then Stephen Hill just walked. Now Frank Anderson, Tennessee's exceptional pitching coach, goes out to visit with Sewell in the infield. Did a little landscaping on his way in as well.
That's any good old pitcher, old pitching coach. You know, you're always going to do a little work on the mound when you get out there.
That guy right there, Frank Anderson, is about throwing strikes. And you don't throw strikes, and you're going to hear it from him. He is a truth teller to these Tennessee pitchers. Chopped third base. They're going to come home. Tag out. Great play by Andre Lipsius. Get the lead runner at home. And Leonard is erased. 5-2. Pavoloni played it, positioned himself well, it looked like.
Looked like that ball was going to hit him, and he swung at it.
Back here in Knoxville, 22nd ranked Tennessee leading Morehead State 2-1, bottom of the 4th at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Pleased to be joined by the head coach of Morehead State Eagles, Mike McGuire, and Coach Vince Ferrara, Charlie Puleo. And the strike zone hadn't been the biggest tonight. I know you guys have a lot of walks, but just your thoughts on your pitching so far in this ballgame.
Well, some of them were self-induced walks, and then some of them were awful small strike zone. It's been small both ways, but holy cow, is it small.
Coach, Alex Garbrick, I know he struggled a little bit, I know control-wise, but what did you thought? What were you trying to get from him tonight, and did you accomplish what you were out for?
We were hoping to get a little deeper out of him, but, the pitches started piling up with the walks, obviously. And, Brick's not a – he walks a few guys, but nothing quite like tonight. Obviously, with a midweek game and weekend series starting on Thursday, you hope to get a little more than we did. But, hopefully we got enough to get to the finish line here tonight.
Last thing with you, Coach. Hunter Fain with that home run in the first. Talk about what he's meant to your ball club.
Well, Hunter's obviously a glue for us. Plays such an important position for us defensively and does a great job back there catching and throwing. But offensively, he's been a high on base guy the entire season, and obviously he's hitting for power and doing a lot of good things for us offensively. And, really, as a long season, you have ups and downs, and Hunter's really been a staple of our club, provides the leadership on and off the field, the example, brings the energy every day. And, he's caught almost every single ball game here in the last month, and it's a testament to him to grind through it, because obviously as a catcher you're struggling back there a little bit physically sometimes, and we've had to play 7 doubleheaders this spring due to rain, and the last few of them he's caught both ends of the doubleheader.
Coach, we'll cut you loose. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, that is Mike McGuire, the head coach of the Morehead State Eagles. Certainly not afraid in this setting against an SEC opponent in a big spot here in the bottom of the 4th. We'll have more spring football for you Friday. It's Georgia's G-Day game at Sanford Stadium, 2 Eastern, 1 Central, right here on the SEC Network and live on the ESPN app. I think that's going to put a wrap on SEC spring football games, Georgia. I think the last one of the group, there was a whole bunch of them this past Saturday, including Tennessee, with their spring games, and then a 3-0 strike delivered by the freshman Smith to Andre Lipsius. Of course, you saw that spring game on the SEC Network, and so many of those, and keep looking for those replays because you'll probably see them throughout the summer, getting you hyped up for the football season coming up. And Smith loses Andre Lipsius. Morehead State pitchers have given up 20 home runs on the year. Solari is the best candidate to leave the yard. That would open up this lead. And that is smacked in the left on a line, and the catch is made by Hammond. What a play. Out in left. Goodness. Solari absolutely barreled that.
Yeah, he hit this 2-0 fastball right down Broadway, and he drilled it.
Sunday right here on the SEC Network, we'll have the women's golf and men's and women's tennis championships. We'll start on the links at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central from Greystone Golf and Country Club for the 7th straight year with a match play format to determine the title. Then at 2 Eastern, 1 Central, we'll be at the University of Florida for the men's tennis championship matches, followed by the women's championship matches at Texas A&M. All 3 are also streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Back here in Knoxville, Morehead State jumped on top of Tennessee with a solo home run by Hunter Fain in the first. Tennessee has trickled away a run in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, but the Volunteers have also left 10 men on base, not able to take advantage of 9 Morehead State walks by their 3 pitchers we've seen in the ball game, and could and should be ahead more than 3-1. But that's a situation for Camden Sewell, who starts out here against Jake Hammond, the leadoff hitter in the order here. And here in the inning, it'll be 1, 2, and 3 for the Eagles. Fouled off right side, 1 and 2 now to Hammond. Hammond 0 for 2, a couple of ground outs to second for the starting left fielder. Made a terrific play in the 4th. And that's lined into left field, and that's going to drop in there. Solari gets it back in quickly, trying to stretch it to a double is Hammond, and he will. Double down the left field line for Jake Hammond off Camden Sewell. And the Eagles have the leadoff man aboard again.
Nice job by Hammond right here. Got a fastball out over the plate and just drilled it down the left field line.
We visit with Tennessee head coach Tony Vitello in his 2nd season at the helm. Coach Vitello, Vince Ferrara, and Charlie Puleo here on the SEC Network. Appreciate the time. And just your thoughts on Camden Sewell, what you've seen from him to start this ball game.
My main thoughts are I'm glad he's healthy. I think he's done very well. He's pitched around a couple defensive mistakes, but to be honest with you, he kind of gets contact that's a little different sometimes, and you've seen a couple quirky ground balls we haven't handled well, but that's the most exciting part of the whole deal is he's kind of overcome a little bit of adversity in some situations.
Coach Jake Rucker continues to come through in the clutch, driving in some big runs. What do you like about his approach at the plate?
When he goes, he goes. I mean, you talk about hand speed at the plate being a virtue. He has it and he uses it. If he's going to swing, he's going to do it. And, that's what a lot of good hitters tend to do, and it's helped his approach, I think, overall.
Coach, I imagine with the 9 walks that you've been given tonight and leaving 10 on base, you would have wanted to take more advantage of that tonight.
Yeah, we need one of you guys to come down here and coach our hitters. Sometimes it works both ways. When you're not getting strikes to hit, it's tough to hit. So some of those wins have been good. A lot of the outs we created on our own early in the game just by chasing. But guys have taken good swings, too. You look at Alaric's at-bats and a misfortune there on 2 of his hard contacts. Same with Andre hitting the ball all the way to the wall. So there's been some positives, but also a tick of frustration.
Coach, we'll let you go. Thanks for the time. Good luck.
Okay, thank you, guys.
That is Tennessee head coach Tony Vitello in his 2nd year. Has done a fantastic job. Connor Pavoloni batting for the Volunteers against Landon Wines. And stays alive at 2-2. You could see every time Tony Vitello talks, he impresses you. Whether it's with us, whether it's local radio, whether it's media, whatever he does, he is so impressive in how he handles himself.
Oh, I like the fact that he constantly is trying to improve the product.
Yeah.
No matter what happens out there, there's always something they can do a little better.
First pitch now to the number 9 hitter, Jake Rucker. We talked to Tony Vitello about when he goes, he goes. And you also may have seen a graphic a second ago. 10 walks today. Morehead State only walked 12 in the entire weekend series at Austin Peay last weekend. And 10 so far today. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Bunt laid down. It's a good one. Past the pitcher. Fielded by the third baseman, Peroni. Runner advances into scoring position. Bunt well executed by Rucker. He can do that. He has a hit, a walk, and he's moved a runner on the sacrifice. Pretty nice day for your number 9 hitter, just a freshman.
Doing a great job.
Well, you mentioned Frank Anderson. This was one of his project guys because of the live arm, the potential this kid had that he just hadn't been able to reel it in. Had a little equipment issue for Connor Pavoloni. I think he's good to go. Look,
he needed a new glove.
He needed a new glove.
That's right.
98-mile-an-hour fastball. Hey,
where's the trainer? Get the kid out and fix that glove. They got a new one. It'll be broken in here in about 3 pitches. He should be fine.
No doubt. That was funny. And there is that nasty breaking ball. Good luck with that.
You're throwing sliders at 85, 88. I mean, you're in a different league. And he's not a real long arm guy. You look at his delivery, and he kind of short arms the baseball.
And Tony Vitello is coming out. I wonder if this is just a one-batter situation for Schultz, and it will be. Tennessee is making a move. Andrew Schultz, 1 strikeout and 1 ripped glove. That's the great Jeff Wood working on the glove of Connor Pavoloni. We'll tell you about the new Tennessee pitcher when we come back. Of Connor Pavoloni against Andrew Schultz, and Schultz busted that bad boy up. Ground ball to second, backhanded by Rucker. Easy work for Tennessee's freshman second baseman. We're out number 2. Back in Knoxville, Tennessee leading Morehead State 3-1. Take a look at some other SEC action. You got a top 25 matchup in Atlanta. Georgia Tech leading Auburn 6-4. You got, of course, the rivals in Louisville and Kentucky getting it on. 6-5 Louisville. Clemson leading at Georgia 2-0. Georgia coming off the series loss to Tennessee in Knoxville.
You look at that weekend series here, and if I'm watching those first 2 games.
Saw Florida ahead of Jacksonville and South Carolina, leading against North Carolina. Nice non-conference matchup for the Gamecocks, who struggled a little bit in SEC play. Here is Andre Lipsius for Tennessee, 277 the season average. David Looney back out there, the left-handed reliever for the Eagles. You see Lipsius' day, second on the club in home runs, leading the Volunteers in runs driven in with 35. Tennessee and Morehead State. The Eagles jumped out on top. Hunter Fain with a solo home run in the first, and the visitors had the lead early, but Tennessee got a run back. Jake Rucker's had a great night. with that ground ball through to the right side to make it 1-1. Then Rucker walked with the bases loaded, put the Vols on top 2-1, and then Evan Russell with that infield single, bringing home Tennessee's third run of the night. And that's where we sit right now, 3-1 Tennessee leading Morehead State. The Eagles have out-hit the Volunteers, but both teams have had countless opportunities tonight. And both coaches would say leaving way too many on base and not getting enough of those clutch hits, Charlie.
Well, a lot of it is situational hitting.
New pitcher for Tennessee is one of the guys in the weekend rotation for the Vols getting some midweek work. It's Zach Lingenfelter, junior right-hander from Sevierville, Sevier County High School. Had maybe his roughest outing against Georgia on Saturday, but maybe getting him some confidence here, Charlie?
I think so.
Saturday right here on the SEC Network at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, we'll have the second game of a 3-game series between number 8 Tennessee and number 19 Georgia at Jack Turner Stadium in Athens. SEC softball is also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. 3-1 Tennessee against Ferrara. Charlie Puleo, great to have you with us here on the SEC Network. Morehead State, 37-26 a year ago. They're 18-12 in the OVC. They were picked to win the OVC in the preseason poll this year. And Lipsia skies that in the right center field. Long run for Pauly. He goes back and he will make the catch at the warning track. That's the second time Andre Lipsius has flied out to the wall. He did it with the bases loaded earlier in the ballgame.
You know, and his power is very deceptive to the right side.
We have a 1-2-3 inning. Those have been rare tonight. Tennessee continues to lead as we move to the ninth. Tennessee 3 outs away from victory number 27 on the year, approaching the number for all of the 2018 season. But work to do, got to get the final 3 outs, and called upon to try to do that is redshirt senior right-hander Richard Jackson from Atlanta, Georgia. He's 24 years old. He's been around the program a long time, has improved, gotten healthy. Is he going to want to stay away here?
Oh, yeah.
Here's Fain's home run back in the first off of starter Camden Sewell. No doubt about it. Morehead State was feeling good at that point, but nothing across since then. But an opportunity here in the top of the ninth against Tennessee's closer at the moment in Redmond Walsh. The lefty Walsh, the 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. And Redmond Walsh records his 6th save of the season. And we'll take a look at that final strikeout. Redmond Walsh getting it done.
Saved his only changeup.
Charlie, awesome job. Great to work with you. Appreciate that. So for Charlie Puleo, I'm Vince Ferrara saying so long from Knoxville, where the final score is Tennessee 3, Morehead State 1. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com. This has been a presentation of the SEC and ESPN Network.